What is going on, people? It is good to see you. First things first, happy Sunday to everybody out there. Hope you guys are enjoying your weekend. So the topic for today's Sunday Switch discussion is, something I talked about in passing, as I do with a lot of my Switch related videos. It's something that I honestly, the more and more I own the Switch, I've mentioned this repeatedly, I find new things to love about it. I mean, I might come off as a pretty pessimistic individual when it comes to the Switch and some of its faults and downfalls, etc., but there's a lot about the Nintendo Switch that I love that isn't so, it's not really something you could advertise. Like, I see a lot of people out there, when they're talking about the Switch and its positive aspects, they're always talking about the portability and, the best of Nintendo games and indie titles or whatever. One thing that I've noticed being a Switch owner for the past 3 to 4 months is that it's kind of corrected a problem that I've had being a gamer, especially this generation. When I first picked up my, we might as well just take it back to last generation. When I picked up, PlayStation 3 and I built my first gaming PC, I got into the habit of spending a lot of excess money on, video games. Not necessarily buying games full price, but whenever I saw a game on sale, I would always say, oh my God, yes, this is exactly what I waited for. It's a game I wanted to play. I waited for it to drop down to $5, and I'm like, okay, it's gonna be my backlog for a while, but I'll get to it eventually because I couldn't pass up the deal. And the more and more I did that, my backlog grew. But this isn't a video talking about backlog woes. It's something that I've noticed being a gamer and focusing on the games that I want to play. Every single time I buy a game that I'm somewhat interested in, something that's not a must-own title, something that people recommended to me, if you want to chalk it up like that, I would always think to myself, okay, where am I going to rank this game on my priority list of games that I need to play? Because let's say, for example, there's a really big game that I want to play. Let's take Horizon Zero Dawn, for example. If I'm playing a game like Horizon Zero Dawn, that's going to be the game that I'm focusing on. If I'm playing a game like Persona 5, that's going to be the game I'm focusing on. I don't want to game hop too often. But more so than that, whenever people recommend me just smaller titles, games that are usually indies, I kind of pass them off because, I'm not going to get into an indie stigma sort of thing, but let's just say I play indie games at the rate of 1 per year, mainly because since my free time is so limited to play video games, I'd much rather play something that is on my list than something that, I'm probably not going to get the most amount of enjoyment out of. Enter the Nintendo Switch, and, might as well add on to the puns here because it is relevant to the video at hand. One of the things I love about the Nintendo Switch, not just the fact that it's finally realizing something we've wanted for decades, a true portable home console, but it's gotten me to play games that I normally wouldn't because of time constraints. And you could chalk this up to the whole portability aspect and how you can play these games wherever you want, just bring your Switch. But looking at games such as Enter the Gungeon, this game is not new by any stretch of the imagination. It's actually pretty old when you're talking about all the games that are releasing nowadays. But everybody recommended me I pick up this game on Switch. Now here's the thing. PS4 is my primary platform. So if I wanted to get the best version of the game, I should have got it on PS4. But the fact that the Switch version is more or less the same and I'm able to take this anywhere has gotten me out of my comfort zone of thinking, okay, I'll get to this eventually or I'm gonna avoid it altogether. So I was able to pick up Enter the Gungeon, and you wanna know something funny? I'm having a freaking blast with it. It is currently my favorite game on Nintendo Switch, and honestly, I kind of kick myself in the foot for not picking up this sort of game in the past. And you can even talk about some other titles on here, such as Rayman Legends Definitive Edition. I've had so many opportunities in the past to pick this game up for cheap, but I waited for it to come to Nintendo Switch and drop down in price to pick it up. And you wanna know something funny? I freaking love the game. And I know for a fact if I bought this game on PS4, it would probably just go into my backlog because I have more higher priority games to play. But with the Nintendo Switch, I don't have to sacrifice that because the library is just growing day in and day out. I've got more than 20 games for the Nintendo Switch and I've only owned the system for a few months. Another great example of it, SteamWorld Dig 2, a game that everyone recommended I pick up on the Switch. It's been available on PS4 forever, but I got it on the Switch and I'm having a freaking blast with it. Something that's really, really old, and I had no excuse because I had a 3DS and I could have been playing this, Azure Striker Gunvolt. This is the Striker Pack, which comes with 2 games. I love Mega Man. I've been playing Mega Man since I was a kid, and I've been kind of pissed off at Capcom's treatment of Mega Man. Things seem to be changing, but we'll see what the future holds. Azure Striker Gunvolt fills that void in my heart, and again, I could have been playing this game years ago, but I just didn't have the time to really invest that, like, changing my mindset of, you know, all right, I'm on the 3DS, I'll probably be playing Ace Attorney or Pokemon or Monster Hunter. But even then, I didn't play the 3DS near the amount that I played the original DS. So something like Azure Striker Gunvolt wasn't even on my mind. As far as I knew, this was like a port of a game that came out maybe last year, but it wasn't. It was a pretty old game. And there's so many other games that are on the Nintendo Switch that I'm really invested into. Yeah, they are what people consider old-ass ports, and you could just chalk this up to a discussion of, well, it's portable now, so that's why you should play it. But nah, man, it goes far beyond that. Like, I'm legitimately having fun playing these games. So many of these games, and it's such a stark contrast to PS4 and PC and Steam, where, you know, I'd much rather focus on those bigger AAA titles. With the Nintendo Switch, I don't have to sacrifice that at all. I could play these games sparingly whenever I have free time, still get a lot of enjoyment out of it, and then hop onto something like Zelda Breath of the Wild or Doom or whatever. And that's what I really love about Nintendo Switch, man. I know I'm kind of beating a dead horse now, but it's pretty cool, man. I like the trend of all of these older, smaller games coming to the Nintendo Switch, because while we all have our issues with the pricing of some of these ports, the sheer fact that they are coming to the system and we see that they're selling in droves really gets me excited for the future of all these newer titles, because who knows, we might see more day-and-date releases on the Nintendo Switch. Some of these developers might make exclusive games to the Nintendo Switch that are in that sort of mindset, because when it comes to game development, like, if you weren't developing for the PS4 or the PC, you were kind of shit out of luck, because the only other alternative would be a smartphone game. And some people don't like I guess the mantra of smartphone games and how they are all pay to win and fee to pay and all that nonsense. So having an original and unique game on those, it's like crazy, because there's so many smartphones out there, but the odds of someone picking up a game to play on a dedicated smartphone device is kind of like, no. But with the Nintendo Switch, you don't have to sacrifice that at all, because while it is a tablet, yes, it does have the inputs that you'd want, and it's just existing in this ecosystem where there are so many games that are just as good. So yeah, man, like I said, it might come off as kind of redundant, but it's something that I love about the Nintendo Switch. And I've noticed that my Switch backlog is getting more work than my PlayStation 4, and not just because I have the opportunity to take the Switch with me wherever and finish games. It's just, I freaking love it, man. Oh man, well, this video's gone on far too long. Let me know down below in the comment section if you guys feel the same way as me. For now, my name is NGS signing out, and my Black Panther review will probably be up either late tonight or tomorrow morning. I don't know. Comment down below if you're watching this right now when you guys want to see the review, because by the time I get back from the movies, it'll be like 1 a.m. Yeah, 11 p.m. IMAX squad at ya. So yeah, just let me know if you want it first thing in the morning, or if you're like, screw it, man, I'm gonna be up till 4 a.m. anyways. You know, drop that shit, man. Go for it. For now, my name is NGS signing out, and like always, I will catch you guys later. Peace.